call the meeting to order.
Okay, thank you.
And present, we have Sue Ray, Joe Daly, myself, of course, and you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from March 25. And
Mary,
did everyone...
Mary, is there any way you can hang up your phone and unmute your microphone on Zoom? Because we're getting a lot of echo. Oh, yeah, but now you just gotta unmute yourself on Zoom. In the lower, probably the lower left, there's a microphone with a line, red line through it. No. If you maximize your Zoom window and look in the lower left, there's like a picture of a microphone. Is it red? No.
You can also click on your photograph and on the upper right-hand corner, click on the 3 buttons. I think she froze herself.
Yeah, that might be an easier way. Just click on your picture and you should get three dots in the upper right. And just click the 3 dots, and the top one is muting your audio. I think she froze.
She may have to log out and log in again.
Yeah.
There she is.
There. There we go.
I'm in the meeting. Hello?
Yep.
We see you.
All right, you see me. All right. For some reason, I can't get the screen back up, but we can move on, okay? I'm sorry for the delay on trying to figure out what happened to my, I see it and I click on it and it doesn't let me do anything with it. Anyway, let's move on with the meeting. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes from the previous meeting in March? And if so, do I have a motion to approve of the minutes?
I make a motion to approve of the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay,
A second.
thank you. Okay, thank you, Joe. And all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Now, first thing is the swap shop update. And Sue Ray, you have some information regarding participants in the swap shop management.
Yes, I did bring it up to the members of the Simsbury Lions Club, and they voted and would be willing to help us out at the swap shop. They'd just like some more information about it, but it would be an opportunity for them to put their glasses collection out there and also get the word out that they're around.
Wonderful.
So that'll give
Okay.
us more bodies to be at the swap shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I think that's wonderful because in the past we did have Civitan who managed it, and it was always helped out when you have such a small committee. It puts a strain on all of us to fill those spots, and so when you have another organization which is generously donating their time, that's great. I really appreciate it. And let me know how we can proceed to getting them the information. I can just email you the list, and then you can go from there.
Right. If you could just
Right
make
now,
the instructions, and I can mail
pardon
them.
me?
If you could email
Yes,
me
the instructions. Yeah, the instructions will be sent out to you later on tomorrow. I haven't had a chance. Oh, that's great. So I won't have a chance until tomorrow to send out that document, and it's more or less a procedural process that you would give them. We
Okay.
can go into it further as you come along. I have sent out the schedule, and everyone just look at your calendar and see what you can do about filling in. June is the one that doesn't have any takers, but right now May is not doing too badly. Of course, May the 29th being the Labor Day weekend, we do keep open because a lot of people come in and clean out, but whatever anybody can fill in, fine. If not, it'll be just Tom and I. Anyway, is there anything anybody would like to contribute to that subject? No? Okay. Now, next, we have the compost program. Can someone speak up and let me make sure I've got everything? I'm hearing everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not talking to a wall.
No.
Thank you. I don't know how these things, what can I say? Anyway, the next program is the compost program. Well, I have great news. First of all, I will lay out the foundation of what happened. Earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I approached the Board of Education, the business department. It wasn't very well received. No enthusiasm, no enthusiastic impression. They did say that the nutritional department head of that department did resign, and she's leaving in another few weeks, and they're getting a new person in place. But saying all of that, it just did not seem that they were very much interested. So it was a disappointing meeting. So I made an appointment today at 11 o'clock to talk with Brian DeVoe, who is the owner of Fitzgerald Store. Only 10 minutes into the conversation, he agreed without hesitation to participate. Not only that, but when I said how the process would work, it's a 4-step process. You collect the food scraps, you put them in a smaller container, and you weigh it, and then you put it in a larger container for pickup, okay? They're not picking up, the farm is picking up. He said, how big are the containers? I said, well, probably something like a 5-gallon container. He says, we could do 10 of those in 1 week. I was, So he said that you might have to have somebody come by at least twice a week to pick up the produce. And mostly it's all food scraps, but it's all vegetable and vegetable and fruit waste that would be involved in this collection. And he says, we have a lot. What they do is have a compressor, which they ship it out, and it's all dumped in the same, waste stream. So now he is very anxious to start and get on board with it. I have a call into Tom Roy, who eventually we could talk about the containers. Brian is going to be talking with his produce manager and set up the logistics of this, and then I will follow through on it with more information from Tom Roy about the containers, and then follow up with that with the farms. Right now, it looks like at least two farms will be taking part in this because that's how much we're talking about. So if we get lined up with the Fleming Farm and Hall Farm, at least those two right now. So I should have more information by Tuesday of next week. So I am just delighted. I can't say enough. And yeah, and also the fact that the compost program not only helps to increase the rate of recycling, which is we are not really, we've been at a steady like 28%, and we really should be up to at least 58, but this will make a big difference. So I am thrilled. I left him a laminated signs that Sue Ray helped create, the list of foods that cannot be composted, and a list of foods that can be. I left him a data tracking sheet so that it can be weighed, because this food has to be weighed in order for us to measure how much is being recycled, and then the steps. So I'm very happy about it. I will be approaching a restaurant once we get this done, so we can engage other organizations. So does anyone have any questions regarding this?
Are you going to split the pickup between the two farms? Like one will pick up on Wednesday and the other will pick up on Saturday or whatever?
I would think I would. It's only fair to give everybody an opportunity. And I know there are other entities, the community farm and so forth. So I want to start out with these two. So I will approach both of them. And Sue Ray, I think you did approach Fleming Farm. Am I correct?
Yeah, she was very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, so I think that maybe you and I can work together in working on that to get that to going. I really, the sooner we get them on board and get this going, the better it will be. Mm-hmm. So look forward to that. So, are there any questions?
Mary, can you hear me? So I did talk.
Yes, I can.
And I guess what he told me is we don't really have containers available that we have around. And he thought that if you guys are running the initiative, that maybe you guys can have some way of getting them yourselves or figuring out the program. Because if you're going to be pushing forward with this, I think you need to have some plan in place for how to get the containers to the people that are doing the composting. I don't know if Fitzgerald, if you're just buying 5-gallon buckets, I don't think that'd be too much if Fitzgerald need to buy them. But there's no real plan in place as far as we know for how to get them to you guys. And he kind of felt that initiative that you guys might be able to set up a plan on how you would do it. So when you do approach someone, you have the plan in place to move forward with it. So, I'm not trying to give you bad news, but don't really have anything in place right now for that. I don't know if maybe Payne.
No, but
anyway.
But no, I don't think Payne's would. But we could work on finding the source where we could purchase them, and then of course the town would reimburse us, because this should not cost Fitzgerald money. Is at this point. I did say that we did have grant money in place, but right now I'll look for, and Sue Ray has gotten some as well in the past for when she was trying to implement this at the library. So I think that we can work out finding the suitable sizes that would fit this situation.
Yeah, and I know Tom mentioned that in the past he'd suggested that you could find a way to buy a bunch of them to have, and then you could sell them to people around town that they could use from there, and that way you kind of cover the cost. Like if you guys find a source, you'd have them at the swap shop, and then residents could buy them, and you could work out a way to make that work or something. That was one suggestion that he had.
All right. Well, I'll look into it. Okay.
Yeah. I think first thing is
So-
find the source, what's the thing, and then we can figure out, how you guys.
I might have some information through the Sustainable CT folks for these barrels.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know on that front, I think this could be the kind of thing that could be an easy thing if you wanted to buy like a bulk amount for that match fund. That if the recycling committee wanted to do one, you could probably do that quick, and it probably wouldn't be a ton of money to just buy like a bunch of them to have for to start their initiative. And that seems like the kind of thing that probably, you guys could probably put something together pretty quickly, and I don't think it would take too much to get it going. That'd be an option.
Okay.
If I recall, Mary, many years ago, didn't they offer through the town composting kits, those little black barrels that they had for like $35?
Yeah, some time ago, yes.
Yeah.
So I think that Joe and Sue do some research and find a location where we can get them, and so we can get it going. I think paying for it is something I'm not sure. I honestly can't see myself asking people to buy these. I think it's something that I'd have to give it a lot of thought. I think that in the end,
I think Ray was thinking down the road, if this was successful, then
You buy your trash cans, right? You rent them from Payne's. I mean, it's kind of the way the system goes. You pay to get into the system, and then you move on from there. So, I mean, it's kind of your buy-in to use the system. So I think it's something people at least have some familiarity with. I mean, you're renting or buying your trash cans from Payne's or All Waste anyways. So if you're adding compost, I mean, that's going to do that. But that's kind of the process that we have set up down, because the town doesn't really have their own waste right ourselves. We do it with the third parties.
Right.
Yep, I understand.
Or
I did
if-
say, though. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, if not, like I said, through Sustainable CT, there might be some options, but also another option is the farm. I mean, I don't know if they want to kick in anything, because they are benefiting too.
Okay, well, I can certainly look into both situations and first find out where to get them, locate the actual containers and the sizes and so forth. And I think that can be worked out. So I'm just glad that we've got somebody who's willing to participate. I think in the end we can work this all out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
But
turn the farm, because they are doing the pickup and the driving around. So
yeah, I wouldn't dream of asking them to contribute on financially. I'm sure there's another way we can work on this. So right now I can't come up with the solution, but certainly I'll do my research and get back to everyone. I'll shoot out an email once I find more information. It will have to be decided upon prior to our next meeting in the month of May. So just to let you know, it'll be something I'll get right on top of. Okay? And I'll just shoot you guys an email and just see where everybody is on it.
okay.
Okay? All right. Okay, the next item is the sustainability CT report. Joe, do you want to give that report now?
Yeah, I have a couple things I wanted to share my screen. So I think I'm opened up for sharing. Let's see what happens.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm going to share my screen. So can you guys see my screen now?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I can't, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll just watch you.
Can you still hear
All right,
me?
go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm kind of tight on time tonight. I only have till like 7:15, but there's just a couple things I wanted to go through that I had found, and also the sustainable CT. I thought this article here, which was in the Hartford Courant on April 12th, about how reducing food waste can help solve the climate crisis, was a pretty good article. And so I'll send it out to the committee. But there's it's very short, but right in the beginning of the article, there's some really good statistics about reducing food waste in the United States. The other thing was, Mary, I did see that manual for school composting that you sent out.
Right, from Mansfield, right.
Yeah, and I was looking through that, and I know we're currently looking at a solution with Fitzgerald's, and not a school,
Right.
but if it is down, if that is something down the road that we're looking at, this PDF has a lot of really good information in it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that gets to what you were talking to, I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but at the bottom of page 4, they talk about a steering committee, and they talk about all the folks involved to make it happen. There's students, parents, teachers, kitchen staff, a whole host of folks to make it happen. So when we had the meeting last night for the sustainability committee, we had a guest speaker from the program staff for sustainable CT, and it was this Jess LeClaire. This is her picture right here. She's the program manager. So she was, giving us an overview about the program and the website, and asking any questions that we had. And when I brought up, that we were kicking around a school, either food scraps or composting program, and she gave me the name. I'm just going back to the this Manchester PDF. She gave me the name of Virginia Walton, who is the project coordinator for the town of Mansfield. She's the recycling coordinator. And she, Jess actually hooked me up with her on email. So that is a resource if we do have any questions. I know Mansfield, they sell compost bins and rain barrels and other accessories. I know collecting food scraps might be a different type of barrel, not necessarily a composting barrel, but she's somebody that I can run by what we're thinking of doing. Just to get her 2 cents on it. And then also we went through, let's see, I'm just trying to get at one of my other documents here. I'm just showing right now the 13 categories of actions for the sustainable CT certification. And just as a refresher, we're down in number 9 here, strategic materials
Right.
management. And when it's 9, there it goes 9. Hang on, I'm trying to get back to where I was. It goes 9.1 through 9.4. And let's see here. 9.1 has reducing food waste. And this is through composting or the smart trash program, which is actually pay as you go. But in one of the other sections, let's see here. Oops, hang on, I lost it there.
That's okay. I saw the listing.
Wait, hang on. All right, now I'm back. Let's see. Trying to move. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to move this toolbar. There we go. Here's
now I don't have you.
Here's 9.3. This is there's also some composting in this one. And then in 9.4, there's a food scraps recovery campaign as one of the available actions. So what I'll do is the program we're talking about here, I can run it by Jess at Sustainable CT, just to see how it would fit into this and how it may qualify for points. And also,
well, I can tell you, excuse me, but I will tell you that it does qualify for points.
Mm-hmm.
I just because this is something I introduced when I first got onto the committee, but they said that it had to be actually implemented at the time, so that's why I put it off, and instead just worked on some others like the swap shop. But go ahead.
But what I was going to add, just the last thing is on the Sustainable CT website, there's a grants portal where they let you know about grants either that they're providing or that they've kind of heard of, maybe from the DEEP or other groups. So I'm just curious, we're talking about this Fitzgerald's type of program. Maybe I can approach these folks about grants for the collection containers.
Well, as far as grants are concerned, I did approach Tom Roy about reaching out and applying for the grant money, and he did talk that it was also a joint venture. In other words, it had to be a matching grant. Where, well, does that mean the town, the recycling committee has to contribute money and raise money, and then and also to match the grant money? I don't think that we're doing it. I'll tell you right now, I am not going out pounding sand for money. That is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
The grant money.
Can we as a town even ask for money?
Yes. That's the thing is I think that we can certainly talk to Tom Roy about reaching out to Maria Capriola and seeing how we can facilitate that. But as far as purchasing this, first need to know what we're getting, how much are we getting, and we need to get it in such a way in volume so that we have the best pricing. Because when you buy in volume, you get take advantage of that situation. But I do know that the Sustainable CT does have a grant program, as you mentioned, Joe, and certainly I did already bring that up to Tom Roy and in the past, but it's going to be a refresher, start all over again.
Yeah, what they said last night is it's like a grant, portal on their website, and
Yep.
The grants can come from various places, various entities.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
they kind of aggregate what's available at that time. So,
okay.
just putting that out there.
what I can tell you just from working with the Sustainable Committee is they give you ideas of what grants are available, but they also have what they call their community match fund that they do. They provide half the funds from their grant money, and then the rest of it is provided through crowdfunding. So they have a portal that they use.
Oh,
You apply for the grant once it's accepted, and it's a pretty low bar. You go up on there. Basically, it's similar to a GoFundMe or one of the things designed
yeah.
for this action. And then you just have to have certain criteria, like you have to have more than like 2 or 3. You can't just have one person donate all the money. So you have to have a certain number of applicants, and more than like 20% can't be from one person. So there's a few things like that you have to meet. But it's basically designed that you go out and just like tell people about it, and they just donate money. So you can have like 100 people donate $10 each. You get your $1,000. They match $1,000, and then you have the $2,000 you need to buy your bins or whatever it is. So it's meant for it to be small things like that, and it's crowdfunding.
Okay. Well, we can look at all of those opportunities, and again, I have to do my research before we could talk about it. But I do think that this should be available, especially when this is something that the town has wanted to do and accomplish for some time, irregardless of the sustainable CT program. This is way before that even showed up at our doorstep. So I think that it is a positive direction, and I'll do some research and get back to everybody on that.
Okay,
but I do appreciate, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that's kind of the update. I learned a little bit about the grants portal. I learned more about our actions, and I was connected with that coordinator from Mansfield.
Yeah. Okay.
They have a very successful overall recycling program. I guess them in Fairfield is really big too.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Mansfield was very, very impressive. Of course, when I wanted to reach out to the Board of Education, I was only looking at taking a pilot program and only using the cafeteria staff because we have to have it as much controlled as possible. So we take it in baby steps. But that's now on the back burner until we have a new nutritional supervisor. So we'll see what happens there. I'll get back to everybody if I find out anything in the near future and do some research on the containers as well as how the funding will go. And if we can go through sustainable CT, we will, why not? Okay.
I just have one general question.
Yes.
If we did a town-wide food waste collection, where would that food waste go?
Well, if you're talking about town-wide, then what you're talking about is something that goes to the transfer station. Is that the direction you're talking about?
That's what I'm asking.
What they do in Mansfield is at the transfer station, as I understand it, they mix the food scraps with leaves.
Yeah. I had a conversation about that with Tom Roy, as well as Mike Payne and his daughter or niece who's running this. And they said that it's not likely that they will participate in something like that because there are no controls. And so they can't hire somebody to have controls. When you have an area where you're dumping, it's one thing to dump leaves And there is a leaf area where you can dump, but it sticks and leaves, and you never know what else. But you cannot also have a compost container or a container there for food scraps because you don't know what's going in there. So you can't have, say, bone meal, foods or meats or fish going into the compost container. So they discouraged me on that, saying that there was no controls in place.
So it could be at the dump.
No,
could
it
be at
can't.
the transfer station.
No. They definitely said no. I tried that a month ago. So, but we'll work on it. I'm sure that they're, once I get into what we're looking for, I think we can, get the containers. That's not my concern right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we're all set, Joe. I appreciate your sharing what's going on at Sustainable CT, and look forward to maybe you could share with me again how we can do that, like you say, matching funds, and you're talking about a GoFundMe situation. So maybe that is something that we can work together on. Are you there?
The big picture with the sustainability committee, I guess, is that all of our submissions are due by next April. So, for research, for recertification. Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Well, awards are great, but in the end, my concern is just getting the work done. I don't do it for the award. I do it because it's just the right thing to do. That's all. Keeping it out of the waste stream. That's important. But I do understand that it's up a year from now.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is there any unfinished business? None. New business. Sue, you have something on Next Trex, Trex. Did you want to speak about that?
Yeah, there's a company called nextrex.com. It's nextrex.com. And they are a business that takes plastic, like plastic bags, cereal plastic, newspaper bags, the plastic that the paper comes in, the wrapping from your water bottles that comes in when you buy the big packages and you get that plastic wrap. It's a way to recycle all that. They take all that plastic and then they recycle it into benches and tables and other items. And I was just wondering if that would be something that we would be interested in looking further into, like having collection areas around town that people could bring their bags to, sort of like what Stop and Shop does already with just their shopping bags. But this would be for also other material. Just another way to
yeah. The containers, we could find ways of getting containers. That's not a problem. But my question would be,
if you sign up, I think the company will send you a container.
Okay. So we just have to find a location and put the word out to share that we're willing to do that.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I'd be willing to look further into it and contacting the company to see what, it would be I think it would be just an easy place that if Payne's could store the plastic for a while and then we just bail it up and send it all out at once. That may be a possibility.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good idea. And I know that they do have a couple of empty trailers out there. They always are filling up the mattress and the electronics and so forth. But I know that they have a couple of trailers that are not in use, and maybe there's some way that they could put them in on hold until we could find somebody to pick them up.
Yeah, I know that I was thinking maybe places that people tend to go to, would be good areas to collect that. You know, we know that the grocery stores, Stop and Shop and Big Y already collect the shopping bags, but
Right.
like either the town hall or the library, perhaps put a box there, and because those are places
Sure.
that people visit all the time.
That's right. I think that would be a great idea.
You
I
know,
think I think if you look into it further and see what we can facilitate and get the word out, certainly the town, when they have the Board of Selectmen's meeting, also they can put it online on the webpage, and we can just get the word out. And just, I think signage alone, people will see it, just like I did when I saw it at the Stop and Shop with the boxes there and all the signs. In welcoming people to leave their bags, used bags. I think that certainly can work. A library is a one positive. Another place would be Eno Memorial Hall and, Town Hall.
yeah,
So
so
I
it's a
think that,
possibility because those are places that people tend to go to.
yeah, I think so. I think there's no reason why we couldn't try that. Why don't you look into it a little more deeply and see what we can do? Because I know right now, if you have a dog, you're using some of those little plastic things that you bring home
Mhm.
and pick up there, you know what. But there's a lot that just, and you can't recycle it into the regular recycling bin because that's unacceptable. It ruins their machinery. But in this case, it
Well,
goes
if you buy
into,
vegetables at the grocery store, that's a bag. If
right.
you get a newspaper,
Yeah,
that's a bag. So
that's
it's not
right.
just grocery bags.
Right, exactly. Right. Well, look, why don't you look into it and keep me posted? And I think that it's definitely something that I think that the town certainly, I can't imagine them not wanting to help out by having these containers available. So, is there anything further on that note?
No. Linda, do you think it would be feasible for us to have something like that at the library?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I really don't see why not.
Yeah.
Would you have to bring it before the board, Linda?
I don't know. I would think yes.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Yeah, let me do some more research on it
Yeah.
and the program and
Yeah.
So you can get to me sometime and I can bring it to the board.
okay.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
We just had a meeting this week, so, there's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
time to get
I
it
do know
together.
that we collect the flags at the library and we collect the flags at and the veterans come and take those flags away, but it's a easy spot for people to get rid of
Right.
things.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
good
so. And yeah, all right, Sue, if you want to do a little more looking into it and see if we can get it onto the library board's meeting, that would be great. And also, we could talk to, you reach out to Tom Roy and see if he'd be willing to put a container down there at the steps of the town hall. See what happens.
Okay, I'll look into it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. It's a good idea.
Well, I know some libraries are doing it in New York State, so as
Yeah.
a means for sustainability.
Right. Yeah. Well, anything we can do to help out in that area. I know I tried to reach out to I called Stop and Shop their manager, and I tried to get more information from their headquarters, and I left the phone number and everything, and they never got back to me on it. So I wanted to get more, details on how what the condition of the bags need to be in, because if they're dirty and they're, you have to make sure that you're putting in bags that are acceptable, if you will.
Yeah, they can't be used for garbage and then put in there. They have to be clean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's look into it further, and then when we can circle back and then get it ready so that Linda can present it to the
Right.
board.
Be happy to.
Okay.
Yeah. When is your next meeting, Linda?
It would be another 4 weeks. The meeting was on Monday. I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but
Oh,
May
it's the
18th.
third Monday of the month.
okay. Third Monday. Okay. I think that if we can get something pulled together before then,
Fine.
we can all on email agree to it and then go forward with it.
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll wait to hear from you, Sue, on the details, and then see what we can accomplish there.
Okay.
Okay? All righty. Thank you. And thank you, Linda, for carrying the ball
Happy-
there.
Just fine. Just fine.
Yep. Okay. Is there any other new business? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? It is 7:21.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Joe, seconded by Ray. And all in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for your